So guys, this is the perfect game mode to actually bring B-52s, Tu-95s and any other type of bomber into the game. Yes, I do believe so. Why is that? Well, the first thing guys is that this game mode is not going to be for the random battles, which can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. I mean, it can be a good thing where we don't have asymmetric combat into the normal random battles unless you want it, and you can go to the specific type of game mode that will have that, which will be World War mode, right? That for now we still don't fully have in the game, right? We had some tests with that, but it never fully implemented, right? And it's a feature that has a great potential of being one of the best features ever added for War Thunder, but they didn't properly get it right, and this type of mission is helping with that, right? So it helps with the World War mode, it helps random battles be more predictable as well, right? So that's a good thing. And the bad thing about it is that obviously you will see more predictable as well combat, as I was saying, so aka a little bit more boring, right? And with that type of game that you see that is a little bit more boring, I would say, the air realistic normal battles that we have, which is just a normal TDM, right? It is a game mode that it is very fun for jet fighters, for fighters in general, right? For types of fighters, heavier or lighter and stuff. But for bigger bombers is very problematic. Even for the World War II ones, it is very problematic. If you saw the video last patch that we had with the X4 missile, right? The Rustal, right? It is very easy to kill B-17s. They just don't have, they don't have a chance. It's very easy because they are alone in the sky, and it's just, the game is not made for this type of aircraft. That's honestly what it is. It's like saying that it's not, it's like trying to play with, I don't know, like a unarmed jeep in ground battles. Yeah, you can cap bases, but what else is there to do? And so the game is not made for that. So it's like we have that type of thing, a transport troop kind of carrier kind of vehicle, right? You could even play with it in ground battles, but the game doesn't have a place for it, right? Right now, at least. World War mode can be a game mode that have that, especially for ground forces. But the same goes for the strategic bombers, right? Even in the lower ranks, it is very problematic in normal battles to be able to be effective and to have fun, to be honest, with this type of bomber, right? Like I said, the first thing is obviously that it doesn't, you're normally not flying in packs, which means that you're not safe normally, because let's like really look into history over here. Strategic bombers up to the Vietnam War, where they were extensively used up to that war, right? You will see that the majority of the things, the majority of the bombers that got back to the base, it was probably because there were so many of them that in the numbers there, they can defend each other, of course, and also because obviously there's so many to kill, you have kind of a luck-based thing there that it's less likely that you will be the chosen one to get killed, right? So that goes, for strategic bombers. And the second thing is that obviously with more and more modern missiles and vehicles and everything, strategic bombers, guys, they are kind of becoming obsolete, right? Really obsolete. Countries still use them, but not as that, right? And even the countries that use them as that, they normally are not used for that purpose, so more for like just having them and doing specific things, and less like let's do a carpet bombing in somebody, because the AA systems, the normal aircraft, they're so advanced nowadays that these bombers are just easy prey, right? So this is something that it's hard to implement in the game because of that factor. This type of game mode will make it so that it's a little bit easier, but it needs to be well thought about, because I think if they add these bombers for you to play only in World War mode, only in this, what this playtest is supposed to be, maybe we will have a chance. Or even maybe in random battles, if the random battles have this type of battle, plus a kind of a cap that if you are using a B-52, for example, we researched it, you have it, etc. When you click the button to join a match, you are automatically going for these matches. You know, asymmetric battles that have this type of thing. And even then, together, maybe we would need, you know, extra AI and everything that you control, something like that. But it could be done. It could be done. And even if you really think about the bombers that substituted the strategic bombers, like the B-1, for example, the Tu-160, these vehicles can actually be used as well because they are faster and everything, fly lower and everything. They can still be used in this type of gameplay. But it needs to be this type of gameplay. If it is not like this, or something similar to this, or even something like simulator battles and during confrontations, it is highly likely, especially, you know, B-52s, like very large bombers like that, it's impossible to add in a competitive way, in a way that you will have fun. The bombers that we already have in the game already suffer a lot. So imagine these against missiles and everything, right? So at the end of the day, guys, I think it's great that we have this game mode. I noticed that some people are commenting that it's boring, that it's not fun and everything, but that's the thing, guys. At least they are testing, and that's what I want to bring for your attention here, is that we need more of these tests. Every single idea that developers have needs to be tested. This is where I think the game should focus on. The development. The whole development needs to be focused. Obviously, it will be focused also on new vehicles, on new mechanics, on new graphics, etc., etc. But a large portion of the development needs to be on new game modes, and game modes that are interesting, and how to improve the game modes that we already have. Because although in certain game modes it's okay, like for example for ground forces, I think it's okay the way that it is, but for air battles it is really problematic. It is boring and borderline just really repetitive, right? So this type of thing needs to happen more often. And another way of testing this type of thing, imagine if they did this playtest with somewhat ready, kinda, it doesn't need to be like 100%, but somewhat ready, you know, B-52 that you can use in a mission like this, just to see how it would perform with AI, without AI, and all these tests. So these needs to happen more often, more tests like this, because then we can have more ideas on how to implement a certain type of vehicle, a certain type of mission, etc., etc. So that's why, guys, I think this game mode is perfect for testing not only asymmetric warfare for air battles, but also strategic bombers from the Cold War. I think it's something that a lot of people have been asking for a very long time, and we just don't have the modes for them. But now maybe we do. Maybe you don't need to research them. You can play with them only on these battles, and you will get the research, the Silver Lions and everything, but you are playing with them. You have a specific mission. You have to fly together with the AI. You have to do certain things. I don't know. Maybe it will be boring, but we will not know unless we test it. So, yeah, this mission is the perfect one to test this type of thing. Hopefully they do, eventually. I still believe it's going to be very, very problematic, but it might be the only Hail Mary shot that we have of having, for example, the B-52 and others in the game. Let me know in the comments what you think. I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye guys, see ya.